It is now 2020, ladies and gents. With a new year comes new laws or addendums to booked laws, taxes, and people doing the same in a different year. One significant law that made its way into the books is the legalization of the reefer, bud, the leaves of green. The medical version of the popular plant has been assisting in a variety of ailments, thus, why it was the first to be on the books, and of course, recreational was to follow. This Friday's Foods discusses Weedies. Not the cereal Wheaties, but Weedies, and their misconceptions regarding use, legality, and this is Friday's Food series. So you know I gotta come with the come on. Welcome to Rasta's Realities, a channel for logics, intellects, and those seeking solutions. I am your host, Rasta Kilbomani, and my reality is your reality. Like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below if anything speaks to you. Let's go. Back in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s, pot was the medication of, well, self-medicating. Whether you knew how to roll it, smoke it, was irrelevant, as there wasn't a shortage of others to usher you into what would become the grocer's favorite customers. Droves arrived at stores, dry-mouthed, reddened eyes with the appetite of armies, willing to damn near empty their pockets to satisfy their salty and sweet tooth to no end, giggling and laughing tears at some mediocre thing that otherwise they would have overlooked any other time. Parties featured smoke crew. You know that crew that always was blowing good, fucking up the air with strange clouds. We all knew them. Hell, some were family that always had joints rolled and present in various personal areas of our households. I know I'm not the only one who had a family member who smoked the bud and would have the child or teen lighting their jealous on the stove, and us being curious as to the appeal would sneak a hit and hear an ordered scream, "Bring my shit!" Followed with the question, "Did you hit it?" I wasn't sure if they were saying without saying to hit it, or they were genuinely inquiring if you took a draw. Either way, it started a lot of people on pot. I guess the same can be said about cigarettes, but this video isn't about stankin' ass tobacco. It is about wacky tobacco. Bringing us back to the present day, I overheard so many speaking on the legalization of weed, and with those lists of what others thought would be beneficial, like smoking bud anywhere, which is bad, as it disrespects others and their airspace, not to mention the fact that they did not want and need their clothes to smell like a hotbox session when they would arrive home or at work. I once did a job with a high school friend out in a Illinois suburb, and he and another young cat, while driving, sparked up an L, riding the highway, no pun intended. And it concerned me as I was there to do a job and not endanger my freedom, being in an area where I wasn't known doing dumb shit like smoking and driving, aka buzz driving. They carelessly smoked and rode as if the rest of the world didn't exist, laws included. I found it reckless and spoke that sentiment. And of course you can just about guess what their rebuttal was. Which brings me to the foolish remarks from all sorts of potheads regarding the legalization of the plant. Like, it's legal. I can smoke it without arrest, persecution, and judgment. For those not in the know, that isn't correct. There are rules to this shit, and everything in life that must be adhered to. Then there are those who thought because you can go buy it with an ID, that life is going to be greater now. That this is on the law books. Now that it is on the law books, rather. Again, wrong. I've seen countless receipts of purchases both here in Illinois and in Colorado sometime back. And the cost is like paying a high cable bill. I can see street dealers now making package deals, raising their prices to compete with a do as I say and not as I do state and government. Fools to think that if other vices that people have wasn't enough to keep you broke, but high and hungry and temporarily happy would be all good. Some would disagree, and to them I would say it is disrespectful to light up and not consider others not wanting to be around strange clouds. I attempted to have a convo regarding how legalization would further unravel society's citizens to a point of no return, to no avail. My points weren't considered even a little bit. And that because people just want to do what they want to do no matter the cost. At least until it's time to pay up. I mentioned in the convo how we smoked in public back in the day, in particular on the train. It would be either on the platform away from prying eyes and or between the cars, which made for a trippy ride, literally. Now we have the homeless populating the trains, along with the cigarette smokers and the pot smokers on the train, not giving a fuck who's on the train. Which is another downfall of the legalization of the recreational plant. Homelessness will increase as a result of the legalization of recreational Mary Jane. I will attach some articles regarding the legalization, the pros and the cons of it. And there's one article that says that crime in various states had dropped because of the legalization of the recreational plant. I don't believe that. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up. If you don't have money and you want to get high and it's legal, you don't want to work, you're complacent, your mind is fucked. You ain't going to go to work to go buy you some buds. You're going to go steal and rob to get that plant. So that particular article to me is bullshit. But as I stated, there will be 2 attached articles in the description for you to view. You know, I even witnessed crews working on the trains. And what I mean by crews, I mean stick-up people. 2 dudes would enter one door and another one, or 2 would enter a different car or door, pretending to beg for change. And when a sucker would attempt to help, the other 2 would converge on the individual to rob them of everything. Why do you think they were robbing people in plain sight? Was it because they were in need for hunger? Money for shelter? Don't be naive. A lot of the times, they were bud men on the train, repeating loud, loud, as they made their way throughout the train for what seemed to be all day, every day. These folks also are stick-up kids. Fools in their primes preying on people pumping green in the underground tunnels. Shitting where they eat with no respect for anything legit. I appreciate the love and support that you are here when you can be any place in the atmosphere. For the new viewers, provide a subscription and a like if you got anything from the quality content provided. Tune in every week for the Weekly's Fridays Food series and often to view new video drops. All support links and contact info are in the description. Let's make a better you and me while making history. I am Rasta Kilbo Mani for Rasta's Realities. Until next time, peace to you.